Something really strange is going on over at YouTube. Over the last 2 weeks, we've seen some massive content creators take a step back from YouTube, from Captain Sparkles to Seth Everman to Papa Meats to Stampy Longheads. He's the guy that sounds like this.
Hello, this is Stampy, and welcome to a Minecraft Let's Play video.
But the two creators' retirements that really caught me off guard were the announcements from YouTube legends tomscott and Matpat from Game Theory. So what exactly is going on here? Are these massive creators really gone for good? And what does this mean for the future of YouTube as a platform? I'm sure the rest of the world was really just as shocked as I was to see Giga YouTuber Matpat, the face of game theory, food theory, film theory, and style theory, and really the face of many people's childhood, tearfully announce that he would be retiring from YouTube in his video released on January 9th, 2024, aptly titled Goodbye Internet. Matpat is one of those old school YouTubers, kind of like Markiplier and PewDiePie, that have really transcended YouTube as a platform. I mean, legit, if you walked up to any American under the age of 35 and just yelled to them, "That's just a theory," I could almost guarantee that they would yell back to you a resounding "a game theory." I think for a lot of people, all of these beloved YouTubers retiring, especially all in the span of just a few weeks, really stings so much because it didn't even occur to us that these super successful YouTubers would want to retire. We need to remember that YouTube as a content creation and sharing platform is still relatively young. Although YouTube was created in 2005, it really wouldn't become this kind of modern behemoth that it is today until around 2010, 2011. Early YouTube was really just this place where people just posted funny, stupid videos. Do you remember the Numa Numa guy? Or how about the lightsaber kid? It wasn't until 2010 and really onward where we began to see the rise of Let's Play YouTubers and video game just YouTubers in general, with the likes of PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, etc. So it's almost no one even considered that 13 years later, a lot of these massively successful YouTubers would be retiring from what many would think, me included, a dream job. It just wasn't even a thought in people's head, but now it's very much a reality. Now all the YouTubers we mentioned so far are retiring or stepping away from content creation for their own reasons, though there are a lot of similar themes that keep popping up through many of these farewell videos. The most common of which being burnout. YouTube is a grinding career filled with long hours writing, filming, editing, and constantly trying to come up with new video ideas to stay ahead of YouTube's ever-changing algorithm. I'm just a small YouTuber who basically puts all of my free time into this, but I've even felt some of these feelings of burnout, especially when you're constantly trying to maintain an upload schedule while keeping your content up to a certain level of a quality type standard. One of the most interesting changes that I've seen as a viewer of YouTube over many years is the rise of the YouTube channel as a business. It's super common for big YouTubers to work with teams around them. Usually it's a couple of editors, maybe a writer or two, and maybe a dedicated thumbnail artist. Massive YouTuber and really just overall awesome guy tomscott touches kind of on this on his specific retirement video. Tom tells us he spent the last 10 years uploading at least one video a week, and that 10 years has really taken its toll on him. In his video, Tom talks about his YouTube career has come to a fork in the road. He could, one, continue to upscale his channel and the quality of his production, and therefore his team, and transition into more of a manager role, something that he very obviously does not want to do. Or two, he could fly off into the sunset, either permanently retiring or just taking a break until he wants to come back. This is kind of the nature of YouTube, seemingly at the highest levels. YouTube is kind of this almost exponential paradox. Once you begin to upscale your content and massively grow, it's really only a matter of time until you'll need to upscale again and again and again. And as your audience grows used to this upscale and the quality of the content, they won't accept anything less. Usually. In an interview with The Guardian, Scott noted some of the major changes that have hit YouTube over the last few years. Specifically, he says this: "It feels like a lot of people who've been making long-form videos have recently announced Not retirements, but reductions, stepbacks. Everyone I know is noticing their views slowly falling and therefore ad revenue reducing. Between the decline in long-form viewers, the threat from junk, zero-effort, degenerate AI channels that are only going to get better, and the sheer mass of competing video options, I think it's going to be a difficult few years. Now, I've talked at length about the dangers of AI on this channel, and this is a sentiment that I definitely share with Tom. Imagine putting an obscene amount of hours into researching, scripting, and editing a long-form video about a topic that you really care about, only for that video to not do very well, and then you take a peep at what your fellow YouTubers around you are doing, and you see people like, I don't know, Sniper Wolf making millions of dollars off low-effort TikTok reacts. Or maybe creators like Kwebbelkop going all in on letting AI create their content for them. YouTube as a whole is a very unpredictable platform. It oftentimes feels like you're boxing with shadows trying to get promoted by the algorithm, and unfortunately, the amount of hours and effort that you put into a video or a project doesn't necessarily correlate with its success. And don't even get me fucking started on YouTube Shorts. This is really kind of the two diverging paths here that these massive YouTubers can take, especially if they produce like high quality long form content like tomscott and Matpat. Unlike Tom though, Matt has decided to pursue the manager role in many aspects because unlike Tom, Matpat's channels will still be producing content, just without Matt being the host and the face of the channel. As in his goodbye video, he says that they've decided to promote 4 of their staff, all who have appeared more and more frequently on camera, to host these 4 respective channels. Matt equates these theory channels to Doctor Who, in kind of how Doctor Who throughout the years has had a variety of different actors playing the Doctor, but still remains equally as popular. I'm not really sure how much that analogy holds here though. I'm sure that his channels will still continue to produce high quality content and will definitely still pull in views without Matt as the face, but it would actually truly shock me if these channels continue to grow at the same rate once Matt is officially gone altogether from the channels. One of the first people I saw really implement this idea of a kind of YouTube industrial complex, we'll say, was Simon Whistler. You know, this guy, I mean, there's like actually no way that you are on YouTube and are unaware of one of his 15 plus different channels. Simon, in a lot of ways, has solved YouTube. Behind the scenes, this guy has a whole team of editors and writers working for him. On top of that, he has an insane backlog of potential script and video ideas sent in by his audience who all desperately want to work full time for him as a writer. Simon is basically the owner and the talent of his channel. He sits down, he reads scripts for all of his videos, and then from here, it gets sent to his editing team, who literally do everything else. All he has to do is show up, read the scripts that he decides he wants to do videos on, and then let everyone else handle everything else. He sits back, his employees do all the work, and he just chills. And honestly, it's fucking genius. And then on the complete other side of the spectrum, you have a guy like PewDiePie. Now, PewDiePie doesn't really need any introduction. I'm sure just me saying his name conjures this image into most people's mind.
How's it going, bro? My name's PewDiePie. How's it going, bro? This is PewDiePie. Hey, how's it going, bros? My name is PewDiePie.
But you see, the interesting thing about PewDiePie is that his content has become more, well, like this.
What you doing there? Yeah? You're such a happy baby.
Yeah, did you know PewDiePie is a fucking dad? Over the last year, I found myself watching more and more of PewDiePie's videos because of this drastic change in his content. PewDiePie has somehow gone from this loud, controversial Swedish Let's Player to a family vlogger in Japan travel channel. A couple years ago, PewDiePie bought a house and moved with his wife and 2 dogs to Japan, where they now have resident status and a beautiful, adorable baby boy named Bjorn. To me, this is one of the most fascinating transitions of any YouTuber ever, watching Felix transform from this controversial edgy boy to a wholesome, adorable family man is kind of mind-blowing. Most of his videos now are basically just family vlogs and travel videos of Japan, of he and his family's everyday life, in this super wholesome, lo-fi style. Of course, we have to consider that PewDiePie specifically is in a very unique position as one of the biggest content creators on YouTube, and though his view numbers have dipped, his reach is so f***ing large that even with this drastic change in his content, he can still pull in millions of views. This really makes sense though. I mean, YouTubers are people too. They grow older and they change, and so does the content that they make. I mean, PewDiePie is 34 years old. This guy has been on YouTube since the very beginning in 2006, and he has grown older and changed, and his audience has with him. And I guess really it makes sense why people like me, who have grown up with Pewds and have also got older, would be more attracted to this change in his content. Also that and the fact that I used to live in Japan and I'm a f***ing weeb. With all that being said, to me it makes sense why so many big YouTubers lately have been either scaling back their content, taking extended breaks, or just retiring altogether. YouTube for many is a dream job, don't get it twisted. But it's definitely a hard job. It requires so much of your time and mental bandwidth, it's easy to see why so many creators have burned out over the years. On top of that, it is potentially relatively unstable as a job, where many people live and die by their ad revenue and either depend on sponsorships or direct donations through things like Patreon in order to stabilize their income. And not to mention the ever-changing landscape of YouTube and the algorithm, many creators, even massively successful ones, have begun to drastically change and branch out and diversify their income sources. I mean, why do you think so many full-time YouTubers over the last few years have been venturing into live streaming and podcasting? Where are the main channel videos, Connor? At the end of the day, I think we need to remember that YouTubers are people too, man. Many of the biggest YouTubers have spent like many years devoted to their channels and their audience, and all that time spent focusing on work has probably taken its toll on them as a human fucking being. As the years go on, more and more of these faces that we've grown accustomed to seeing on YouTube every single day will disappear. And as sad as that is for people who've been watching them for many years, it's just kind of the way life is. It's the most unchanging fact about life. The thing is that things will always change, whether we like it or not. But hey, that's just a theory. A life theory. Friends, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video or learn something new, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, as your engagement on this video really does help put the videos into the algorithm. To Matpat and Tom, I just want to say a big thank you to all of the years of content and the memories that you've given us along the way. I personally can't wait to see what both of you guys do in the future, and I know whatever you do, it's gonna be great. As always, guys, drink your water, hug your mother. Until next time, peace, love, Adu.